Hello, Aquarius Risings, and welcome to your 2026 astrological overview as well as tarot insights. If you don't already know, Saturn is your chart ruler, so any transits involving Saturn are slow, yes, but they are very impactful and important. So if you want, you could take a screenshot here of the movement that Saturn will be making this year. And the first big movement we will see with Saturn this year is that it will enter into Aries on February the 15th. But first, Neptune will also enter Aries on January 27th. And this is going to be entering into your third house, which is all about mindset, learning, and your immediate environment. So think like local connections and daily interactions that you have. So with Saturn and Neptune in your third house, your year is all about leveling up how you think, learn, and communicate. It is a good time to get serious about your studies or maybe even finally tackle any type of writing projects or new skills that you have been thinking about. But this isn't just about hard energy with Saturn. Neptune's influence being there also means that you're going to need to trust your intuition as well. So listen to your gut and don't ignore those creative flashes or dreams or thoughts that come up during this transit. With Saturn and Neptune, balancing logic with a little bit of imagination will help you navigate this more easily. Now, I did put some tips here for navigating Saturn and Neptune here in your third house. I put here structure your learning and commit to studies or skills that build your future. The second tip is to practice mindfulness and compassion in conversations. With Aries being the third house, especially if you have any planets there, it is tied to maybe communication being a little bit more assertive or maybe even quick and thinking a lot of things or speaking really quickly. And with Neptune and Saturn there, practicing maybe mindfulness or taking a step back and really thinking first of what you're going to say before you say it when it comes to any type of conversations, whether it's with neighbors or siblings, because the third house is also related to siblings. And stay open to intuitive insights because clarity is going to come from blending logic again with our Saturn with inspiration and Neptune. So I did pull some tarot spiritual insights along with this transit just to see for those who will watch this video. I did pull these on my own and then I just got the image. So what I have here is the King of Pentacles reversed, the Wheel, the Eight of Wands reversed, and the King of Swords reversed. And this is tying in again to Saturn and Neptune transit into the third house. So the King of Pentacles reversed suggests that there may be some frustrations around feeling stable or grounded in your learning or local environment. Maybe projects or plans aren't unfolding as maybe neatly as you had hoped. And it's a good thing to at least know and acknowledge that. And then with the Wheel next to it, it shows that things are going to be shifting. So cycles are turning and some unexpected changes or opportunities could come your way during this transit. And it is a reminder that life isn't static. It isn't a standstill. And even if things feel uncertain, they are moving towards growth with the Wheel. With the Eight of Swords reversed, this is encouraging because you're gaining clarity and you're breaking free from any mental blocks that might have been holding you back in your thinking or in your communication in the past. And with the King of Swords reversed, this is also a gentle warning to be mindful again of communication, either from yourself or from others, and avoid getting caught in any rigid or overly critical thinking with Saturn there. So the overall insight here for the transit is to stay flexible and open-minded with learning, with local connections and daily communication. We will have the eclipses this year in Aquarius and Virgo. However, I won't be going deep into that because they will have their own separate video. I'll just kind of like glance over it and give you the tarot insight. But again, I will make a separate video of that when it comes closer. And that is very important because it is your first house, Aquarius. So it's very important to watch. It's also Virgo, which is your eighth house. So that is going to be spotlighting your personal identity and your deeper emotional world, eighth house. The Aquarius eclipse there in the first can feel like some type of karmic reset if you are, of course, ready to invent yourself and show a new side of yourself to the world. This is going to be the moment to do that. Meanwhile, the Virgo eclipse in the eighth could bring changes around shared finances or intimate relationships, or even how you handle any type of big emotional shifts. So lean into these changes because they are setting you up for real growth. And the spiritual insight for this eclipse season, we have the Emperor, the Ace of Swords reversed, and the Six of Swords. So the Emperor is showing that structure, boundaries, and taking responsibility are going to be key when it comes to shared resources and emotional depth or any type of transformative situations that go on with that eighth house. And Spirit is really nudging you to claim your authority in those areas. With the Ace of Swords reverse, this could suggest that clarity around these deep matters might feel blocked or delayed, or you might not see everything clearly just yet, and that is part of the process. Remember, any eclipses is you're going to feel the energy anywhere from 6 weeks before to 6 weeks after. And the Six of Swords is encouraging, even if things feel heavy or uncertain, you are moving away from old challenges onto more calmer, balanced energy. So there's real forward momentum here, even if it's feeling a bit subtle at first. So overall, just focus on setting healthy boundaries and taking practical steps in matters that require deep emotional or financial insight, and really trust the process because transformation is happening, even if the picture isn't fully clear yet. On April the 27th, Uranus will move into the sign of Gemini, which is your fifth house of creativity, children, play, and hobbies. And that is your green light to experiment and have some fun, whether it is a new creative hobby, a surprise romance, or just finding new ways to express yourself. You're likely to crave more excitement and spontaneity in your life with this. And this is a 7-year transit. So it's not something that just comes and goes, but it does begin and you'll start to feel it this year. So don't be afraid to try something completely different, something that's a bit maybe even unpredictable with Uranus, because that is just what you might need to shake off any rut type of feelings and help you really feel inspired again. So our spiritual insights for Uranus going into Gemini, we have the Chariot, the Ace of Swords, and Strength reversed. The Chariot shows that there is momentum and drive around expressing yourself creatively or pursuing joy in whichever way that is. Spirit is really encouraging you to take the reins and move confidently towards those things that light you up. The Ace of Swords suggests that new ideas, insights, or breakthroughs can spark exciting new opportunities for you, especially when it comes to any type of creative projects or love. It is a fresh start energy, and clarity from this Ace of Swords will help you take bold action. With the Strength reverse, this is a gentle caution to not push yourself too hard or force situations to go a certain way. Sometimes joy and creativity are going to flow best just when you loosen that sense of control a little bit and allow space for the Uranian spontaneity. On June 30th, Jupiter will enter into the sign of Leo, and that is your 7th house. This is a year to expand your relationships, team up with new people, or deepen current connections that you already have, whether it is romantic or business. And this is because you are being set to benefit from collaborations or from seeing things from someone else's perspective as well. So be open to meeting new faces. One connection could change your whole trajectory. And I do have here some tips on how to navigate and work with Jupiter here in Leo. And I put here, be open to meeting new people or deepening existing partnerships, and also seek out win-win situations, both in business and personal relationships. So here is your tarot insights for this transit of Jupiter in Leo. We have the Hierophant reversed, Four of Swords, and Four of Cups. The Hierophant reverse suggests that some traditional ideas around relationships or partnerships may be challenged, and Spirit is really encouraging you to rethink old patterns and that it is okay to step away from anything that doesn't serve you. With the Four of Swords, that shows that reflection and rest are going to be important here. Take time to pause and just assess, partnerships rather than rushing into actions or decisions right away. And then with the Four of Cups, this highlights the need to pay attention to opportunities that you might be currently overlooking. You may feel a little bit disconnected or disengaged, but there are chances to grow and deepen connections just if you're willing to open your eyes and take another look. Next, we will have Venus retrograde from Scorpio into Libra, and this will begin on October the 3rd. This is your 10th house and 9th house. So, Venus retrograde will be highlighting your career and your beliefs, and you will want to hit pause before making any big moves at work or with your public image. This is the perfect time to reflect on what you really want to be known for and maybe even revisit an old goal or an old dream. If you're tempted at this time to make a big leap, just give it a little bit of time. It would be best to wait until Venus goes direct again and you'll have a fresh sense of clarity about your next steps. And Venus will go direct again on November the 14th. So, our spiritual insights for the Venus retrograde, we have the Wheel of Fortune reverse, the King of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So, the Wheel of Fortune reverse suggests that some shifts or changes in your career or your public life may feel stalled or maybe even unpredictable. And Spirit is asking you to reflect on cycles and patterns that you've had before with when it comes to work and career. It is time to pause rather than force outcomes. And with the King of Cups right next to it shows that emotional maturity and balance are your allies during this retrograde. So you can navigate tricky situations at work or in the public life with compassion and more sense of calmness, even if things feel uncertain. And then with the Page of Cups, this brings curiosity and fresh insight. So any new ideas, creative inspirations, or any subtle emotional cues are going to be your guide in reevaluating what you might believe in the ninth house or your career direction with the 10th. So overall, you want to use this retrograde energy to pause, reflect, and realign, which is what retrograde is about anyways. It's about taking a step back, reevaluating. You want to pay attention to emotional intelligence and new insights and not rush to make any changes in your career or your belief systems. So thoughtful reflection now can really set you up for smoother progress later. 2026 is a year of powerful self-discovery and transformation for you, Aquarius Rising. Embrace new ways to communicate, learn, and express yourself, and let relationships and creativity and your career goals evolve in unexpected and positive directions. Your willingness to adapt will be your greatest asset. If you like this, please subscribe, comment down below how you're feeling about the year, and I will see you guys in the next video.